The introduction of folk stories from southern Nigeria, West Africa. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Folk Stories from Southern Nigeria, West Africa by Elphinstone Dayrell. Introduction. Many years ago, a book on the folk tales of the Eskimo was published, and the editor of the Academy, Dr. Appleton, told one of his minions to send it to me for revision. By mischance, it was sent to an eminent expert in political economy who, never suspecting any error, took the book for the text of an interesting essay on the economics of the blameless Hyperboreans. Mr. Dayrell's folk stories from southern Nigeria appeal to the anthropologist within me no less than to the lover of what children and older people call fairy tales. The stories are full of mentions of strange institutions as well as of rare adventures. I may be permitted to offer some running notes and comments on this mass of African curiosities from the crowded lumber room of the native mind. 1. The Tortoise with a Pretty Daughter. The story, like the tales of the dark native tribes of Australia, rises from that state of fancy by which man draws, at least for purposes of fiction, no line between himself and the lower animals. Why should not the fair heroine, Adette, daughter of the tortoise, be the daughter of human parents? The tale would be none the less interesting and a good deal more credible to the mature intelligence. But the ancient fashion of animal parentage is presented. It may have originated, like the stories of the Australians, at a time when men were totemists, when every person had a bestial or vegetable family name, and when, to account for these hereditary names, stories of descent from a supernatural, bestial, primeval race were invented. In the fables of the world, speaking animals, human in all but outward aspect, are the characters. Their fashion is universal among savages. It descends to the Buddha's Jataka, or parables to Aesop and La Fontaine. There could be no such fashion if fables had originated among civilized human beings. The polity of the people who tell this story seems to be despotic. The king makes a law that any girl prettier than the prince's 50 wives shall be put to death with her parents. Who is to be the Paris and give the fatal apple to the most fair? Obviously the prince is the Paris. He falls in love with Miss Tortoise, guided to her as he is by the bird who is entranced with her beauty. In this tribe, as in Homer's time, the lover offers a bride price to the father of the girl. In Homer, cattle are the current medium. In Nigeria, pieces of cloth and brass rods are or were the currency. Observe the queen's interest in an affair of true love. Though she knows that her son's life is endangered by his honorable passion, she adds to the bride price out of her privy purse. It is a long courting. 4 years pass, while pretty Adette is over young to marry yet. The king is very angry when the news of this breach of the Royal Marriage Act first comes to his ears. He summons the whole of his subjects. His throne, a stone, is set out in the marketplace, and Adette is brought before him. He sees and is conquered. It is no wonder, said the king, this tortoise girl might be a queen. Though a despot, his majesty, before cancelling his law, has to consult the 8 Igbos, or heads of secret societies, whose magical powers give the sacred sanction to legislation. The Igbo is a mumbo-jumbo man. He answers to the Bogi, who presides over the rites of initiation in the Australian tribes. When the Igbo is about, women must hide and keep out of the way. The king proclaims the cancelling of the law. The Igbos might resist, for they have all the knives and poisons of the secret societies behind them. But the king, a master of the human heart, acts like Sir Robert Walpole. He buys the Igbo votes with palm wine and money, and gives a feast to the women at the marriage dances. But why does the king give half
Sample complete. Ready to continue?